If you've ever been out on a run feeling good, your breathing is steady, your legs are strong, nothing feels off, and then you look down at your watch and suddenly your brain goes, oh no, that's too fast, or maybe that heart rate is too high, or there's no way I can keep this pace up. And within minutes, sometimes seconds, the wheels completely come off your run. If that sounds familiar, stick around because today we're talking about why so many runners can't hold a pace that physically feels fine, and how your watch might be quietly hijacking your performance. If you're new around here, hello, my name is Gillian. I'm a running mindset coach and I help runners of all levels get out of their heads into their bodies so they can enjoy every single run. Now, this episode is especially for you if you feel fit, you've been running consistently, you know you should be able to hold a certain pace, but the moment you see the numbers, whether that be pace or heart rate or distance, your confidence drops and suddenly the run feels way harder than it did 30 seconds ago. This isn't about fitness. This is not about needing to run more. This is about mindset, trust, and outsourcing your performance. I had a consult recently with a runner. Let's call him Steve. Steve was fit. He's been running for years. By that point, he'd probably done just under 10 marathons. He wasn't a beginner by any stretch of the imagination, and he certainly wasn't undertrained. But he kept telling me, I just can't hold the pace. Here's what was interesting. When Steve described his runs, he'd say things like, I felt fine, my breathing was controlled, it wasn't uncomfortable, my body felt like it could do more. But during his runs, he'd look at his watch and the moment he saw the pace or heart rate, his brain would spin into overdrive. Suddenly, he'd physically tense up. His breathing would get shallow and quick. His thoughts would spiral often to the extreme, thinking his heart would stop if he kept that pace up. And within a minute or two, he'd pull back or stop his run completely. And in that moment, nothing physically changed. He was feeling great and in a flash, he'd stopped running. The only thing that had changed was the data he now had access to. Steve had stopped listening to his body in that moment and was outsourcing his performance to the watch. And this is something I see quite a lot with runners. The watch goes from being a data collection tool that can help support your runs, help support your training, and it turns it into a decision maker. The moment when that shifts, that's when I see confidence decrease. You stop asking, how do I feel? Is my breathing as it should be for this type of run? What's my RPE right now? And instead start asking, what do the numbers say I should feel? And before you go into judgment mode and think, ugh, I shouldn't be doing this, let me tell you, I've been there, so many times before I became consciously aware of the fact that I was sabotaging myself constantly. One run that stands out, I was training for my third marathon, and on one of my faster tempo runs, I was cruising along. Everything was just clicking. I felt strong. My breathing was heavy, but I could say a sentence or two. I wasn't over the top exerting myself. It was probably an RPE of a solid 7. I glanced down at my watch and saw pace numbers I had never ran before. Well, outside of doing 50-meter sprints or something. And instead of thinking, wow, look what my body can do, my training is working, my brain went straight to, you're not a fast runner, there's no way you can keep this pace up, slow down. Can you guess what happened next? Within less than a minute, I couldn't hold on to that pace. Not because my body failed, but because my belief did. Had I not looked at my watch, I know with 100% certainty that I would have gotten a PB on that run. I was running so well. I was like, that's the dream run. I felt so freaking good. And this lines up with what runners all over the internet are saying. Why can't I hold a pace that feels comfortable? Why do I feel fine but still have to slow down? Should I run by feel or by my watch? What's fascinating is that many runners feel like this is a fitness issue, but it's often not. It's a perception of effort problem, not a capacity problem. Your brain is constantly predicting effort and danger. When it sees a number it interprets as too much, too fast, or something new and difficult, it steps in to protect you. Even if your body is perfectly capable, your brain says no. Here's the reframe I want you to hear. Pace and heart rate are information. Your watch doesn't know you, especially if, like me, you don't wear your watch 24/7. It doesn't know how well you slept. It doesn't know what stress you're under. It doesn't know what you fueled your body with, or if you're under-fueled. And your watch doesn't know what confidence you're carrying into that run. It doesn't know what your mindset is as you lace up. But your body does. Your body knows. And yet, so many runners override bodily cues in favour of watch numbers. This is why so many people say I was fine until I looked at my watch, or even running the whole run with one eye on the watch, constantly adjusting speed. I don't know about you, but that would suck the joy out of my run if I was constantly looking at my watch and adjusting, running faster, slower, faster, slower, faster, slower. I would not be enjoying that at all. And this tends to show up in runners who know what certain numbers mean or have an attachment to the numbers. They're maybe attached identity to pace and have perhaps even labelled certain HR zones without confidently knowing if their watch is even calibrated correctly or recording the data accurately. So instead of running, they're constantly evaluating, and evaluation kills flow. So here are 3 mindset shifts I coach runners through. So the first one is stop asking, can I hold this pace? Start asking, how does this feel right now? Or what is my effort right now? And is that in line with the type of run I'm running? The moment you jump too far ahead mentally, your nervous system panics. So stay present in the moment. Number 2, let the watch record, not dictate. Try runs where the watch is covered. Put it under your sleeve so you can't see, or put your gloves over the top of them. Or I regularly run with my watch face on the inside of my wrist, making it not as natural or as easy to see the screen. Or check your watch at the end of your run, not during. You don't need to abandon data. Data is such a good tool to have. It's fantastic. I use it all the time with my clients, but just change the relationship to it. Body first, data second. And the third one is build trust in perceived effort. Perceived effort is a trainable skill. The more you practice it, the more confident and consistent your pacing becomes. If you've never run by effort and aren't sure where to start, grab some time with me. Details are in the show notes. And we can chat about how that shift, subtle shift, can really help you make progress, but also enjoy running so much more. So here's the section of the podcast where I give you some journal prompts. So grab yourself pen and paper, or if you're new school, get your notes app. Let's do some reflecting. And now remember, this is judgment-free. We're becoming consciously aware of patterns so we can make shifts to change them. Okay, you ready? We've got 4 questions today. In an average week, how often do I believe my watch more than my body? Number 2, what numbers trigger self-doubt for me? Number 3, how do I want to feel when I'm running strong? And number 4, what would change if I trusted effort over numbers? You don't need to answer them perfectly, just honestly. This isn't about pacing, it's about identity. Are you a runner who needs permission from a device, or one who leads from embodied trust? Because the strongest runners I know don't outsource belief. They integrate data after the run, not during it. And if this episode made you realise, wow, this isn't all about my legs, that's the exact work we do inside the Runner Identity Project, or lovingly called TRIP. Rebuilding trust, confidence, and leadership in how you run, so pace becomes an expression of who you are, not something that you chase. You can find the link to schedule a call with me in the show notes if you want to explore what 3 months in this program can do for you. Next time you're out running and you feel good, before you look at your watch, ask yourself, what if my body already knows what it's doing? Thank you for listening. Bye for now. Happy running. See you next week.